Dragonites, how is everybody doing today? I hope that you're having a fantastic, phenomenal kind of day. If you're not, you know what to do. Go get yourself something nice because you deserve it. And if you are having a fantastic day, well, go reward yourself because, you know, your planet's aligned for whatever reason. So celebrate it. That's what you need to do. All right, Dragonites, welcome to the final whip and chat of our Walk Like an Egyptian event. I want to thank again everybody who's participating. I have been loving seeing you guys posting your progress for all your canvases. You guys are awesome. They are just beautiful, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to put them in the final whip parade. Which, by the way, since we're talking about it, is I need to have your canvas picks, your finished picks or your as finished as you're going to get picks by Wednesday the 29th, which is this coming Wednesday, the 29th by 5 p.m. I will be working on the whip parade on Thursday, April 30th. And I hope to have it up and running for you by Friday, May 1st. So that's the timeline. Some of that's going to depend on if you guys get me your picks on time. You know what I'm saying? I would appreciate it if you didn't make me find you. Please email it to me or post it in Dragonites Lair, one or the other, so that I can do it. I think you guys are going to be really happy to see how these all look when they're in parade form because everybody has done such an amazing job. I'm so excited. So we are going to get started. Have a little quiz for you guys on your Egyptian mythology. Did you listen? Did you pay attention? Was it just running in the background? You didn't really care? Like, what was happening? We are going to find out. So then I want you to let me know in the comments section, how many did you get right? Let me know. Be honest. All right, everybody. And no cheating, no going to look at other answers in there. You have to just tell me. You don't have to put your answers. You just have to tell me. How many did you get right? There are 10 questions on this quiz, and then there's a few bonus questions. So, you know, we'll see how you do. I know it's feeling a little bit like history class, isn't it? That's okay. I know you guys can handle it because you're Dragonites and you're awesome, and so not worried. Okay, now, couple things so everybody's on the same page. My next event will be June, and we are going to talk about Purple Haze. And again, that is any canvas that is predominantly purple. Can be any subject matter, entirely up to you. So as long as it's predominantly purple and it's 30 by 30 or larger, it qualifies for the event. Okay? I will let you know before we head on to June. Let me stop and just say in May, there are 2 really cool events going on for Diamond Painting with Friends 2.0. So Miss Nancy, Pampered by Diamonds, she is going to be doing superheroes. So if you have a superhero canvas you've been dying to get done, now's your chance. Go on over to Pampered with Diamonds to let Nancy know you want to participate. And Crafty Chef Diamond is doing her annual Disney event. So run on over there and do your Disney canvas. I'm so frustrated because I actually have a canvas for both of those events, and I'm not going to be participating in them because I am hosting an event June, July, and August, and I need May to recoup myself and, you know, try to rejuvenate and mentally prepare for 3 events in a row. Okay, so that's going to be for May. So make sure you get over to Diamond Painting with Friends 2.0 Facebook group, and also, which I'll link it in the description. Also, you can go to Crafty Chef Diamond's website, or you can go to Pampered with Diamonds Nancy's website. Please excuse the background noise. Everybody's home today. And so that's going to be where you can find out all the details from the hosts themselves. Okay, now moving to June. So June, we're going to do Purple Haze. We talked about the requirements for that one. In July, we are going to do the Dragonites, what is now going to be annual Dragon event. So the which is any canvas with a dragon on it. Doesn't have to be the main picture. It can be an outline picture anywhere, as long as there's a dragon on the canvas and it's 30 by 30 or bigger, you qualify for the dragon event. Now, if you miss July for whatever reason, you're going to be on vacation, it's too hot to paint where you are, whatever the reason being, it's going to be annual, and we're going to start out 2027 in January with the Dragonites annual dragon event. So we're going to start the year with it for right after New Year's for next year. So you will have a chance to do it again if you don't get in on July. So don't panic. Don't throw away your canvas with the dragon on it. Hang on, because I'm telling you, we are going to get this done every year. Okay. Then in August will be the Zodiac event. So you can do the Chinese Zodiac or you can do the American Zodiac, whichever. So you can do a canvas, it has to be 30 by 30 or larger, or if you're going to do a set of minis, that's fine, but I expect you to try to get all of the minis done, okay? It's not a requirement, but I want you to work on that because I want to make sure that, you know, you're working along with us, right? Enjoying the event, hopefully, okay? So you can do any of the zodiacal signs. If you're a Taurus or a Leo or an Aquarius, or like me, if you're a Sagittarius, woohoo, fire sign, yay, then that will qualify. You can do that for the event. If you have one that's all star signs, you have a galaxy picture that's all celestial stuff, fine. However you want to do it. So, as long as it's zodiacal. If you're doing the Chinese Zodiac, Diamond Art Club has a nice set of the Chinese Zodiacs that are predominantly red and black. And I do have that set thanks to Dragonite Missy Nelson. She actually gifted it to me. Thank you again, Missy. So I have had a chance to kind of look through it, and it's really nice. You guys should, you know, reach out if you don't have anything to do. That would be a good one, and that's, you know, less than 20 bucks. They also have the American Zodiac, for whatever lack of a better word, the astrological signs in a set. They are also pretty. Paint Gems also has a beautiful set. I have done their set and I really enjoyed it. So lots of options. There are lots and lots of Zodiac based mermaids at Diamond Dots. So if you want to run over there and go to the Karen Horton collection, she has a mermaid for every Zodiac sign. So help yourself. Also, let me think. Temu has a ton of Zodiac. GBFKE has some Zodiac. You can fairly well get them. There are a couple of, if they're still in the running, I haven't checked lately, but Dreamers had some Zodiac signs. So you have your choice. You can get licensed, you can get budget, you can get whatever you want. It's all okay by me. So you have until the 25th of the month before the event. So if we're talking the Zodiac event, which is coming up in August, you have until July 25th to sign up for that event. I will remind you in July while we're doing our dragon event what's coming, so you'll know, okay? So that's June, July, and August. Whew, I don't know what I'm thinking, but anyway. Then I'm taking a break for a couple months. And then in November, we are doing Fairies, Pixies, and Gnomes, oh my, which you guys, you Dragonites selected. Remember when we did the voting process? You guys selected that one of all the options. Okay, so again, this is your opportunity to get all your little, you know, flying creatures and your angels, your fairies, your gnomes, your pixies, your sprites, your brownies, your whatever you have that you'd like to do, you can do. There are a plethora of canvases out there that fit this theme, so pick the one that speaks to you. If you need to ask me about it, you can always email me. My email is always in the description box. So yeah, you guys will not have any problem reaching me to find out if you have a canvas that's going to work. I'm pretty open about it, so yeah, chances are good if it's even remotely in the vicinity, even, you know, if it's adjacent to the event, I'll probably say okay. Then, just to get you excited for 2027, dun dun dun, dun, This is next year. Can you guys even believe it's next year? It's already 2027. My God. Okay, January, like I said, is Designer Dragons. Technically, it's not really. That's what I called it last time I had it in January, but really it's going to be the Dragonites annual dragon event. So that's what you're going to know it as. That will be for January. April of 2027, we are doing Women Warriors. Woohoo! So, any canvas with a woman warrior on it, that's 30 by 30 or larger, qualifies. Now, what does a woman warrior look like? Hey, if she's got a sword on her, I'm going to call her a warrior. If she's got a sword and wings, great. If she's Joan of Arc, fine. If she's from Night Portal, which is a canvas at DAC, that's a beautiful one. My plan is to do Freya, who is a woman warrior that I got as a gift. Thank you, Sugar Ray Crafts. I got as a gift from Ray and Diamond Art Club. So I'm excited to do her. So I will be working on her. But again, there are so many. If you just put Woman Warrior in your favorite diamond painting manufacturing site, you're going to have some come up. So I want to see how creative you're going to be. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Then in July, we are doing mythological creatures. So if you have 2 fairy canvases and you just can't decide, hang on to one, because you'll have a chance to do it next year. We're going to be doing this again next July. Next year, we're going to be doing mythological creatures. Okay, your unicorns, your centaurs, your gargoyles, your fairies, your ogres, your trolls, your grims, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do for mythological creatures. If you've got Bigfoot, awesome, bring it on down. If you have mermaids, bring them on down. If you have sirens or selkies, then by God, this is your opportunity. Bring them along. If you've got, Champ from Lake Champlain, go ahead and bring it. You got the Loch Ness Monster, love it, keep it coming. All of those will be qualifiers. They just have to be mythological creatures. Now, remember, please do 30 by 30 or larger. Now, if you know you can do a 30 by 30 in an afternoon, please get something larger. It's a 30-day event. Come on, guys. Okay, so that's the rest of this year and the rest and all of 2027. So that's what's coming. So you have an idea of, what's going on. Don't get overwhelmed. I will have it in the community post section of the channel. I'll also just make a random post. I'll just put it in the feedback so that you'll see what's coming. Also in the post are, in case you need to know what the rules, and I put that in quotations, are for the events. That's also in there. So anything you need to see is in there. If you need me to send it to you, not part of the post, I can do that too. Just let me know. Email me or leave me a comment. Let me know, hey, I'd really like to, I need a hard copy. Could you send that to me so I can print it? Yes, I can do that. Absolutely. And again, Diamond Painting with Friends 2.0 has ongoing events as well. So I highly recommend that you get over to the Facebook group. Again, it will be in the description box, and look at their events calendar and you will see everything offered. They're doing 2 events a month this year. So if you don't like one, you might like the other. So run over there and take a look and see if there's anything you'd like to do. Phew. Okay. I think that's everything. Now, I know you're looking at your screen if you're actually looking at this like a video going, the heck canvas is that? Well, I finished my Cleopatra canvas I was working on Saturday. So I have been dying to do this Cosmic Violet canvas from my Sagittarius sister, Miss Donna at Diamond Art Joy. She gifted me this about, I want to say for Christmas or my birthday last year. So I've been dying to do it. Now, could I have done this for Purple Haze? Yeah, I could have. but I want to do it now, and I already have canvases that I'm going to be doing for June and July, which, I mean, I'll show you at the end. So Cleopatra is going to be in my month-end videos of all of my completions, so which will be coming to you this coming week. So yes, that's what's happening. I'm going to seal it before I do a lot of handling, because there's a couple of spots where, I mean, the glue is good everywhere, but there are a couple spots where the drills are kind of skating a little bit. So I want to just seal the whole thing before I start handling it to show you. So I'm going to do that before I show it in the completion, so you will get to see it. But yes, I finished Cleopatra. So now I'm working on Cosmic Violet from Dreamer Designs. And oh, I'm loving it, guys. It's really, yeah, I'm going to be working right here, so you will see it. Okay, so we will start with the quiz. If we have time, I'll give you some life updates. First thing I want to tell you, though, oh my God, I went to see the Michael Jackson movie. I bought tickets 5 weeks in advance. I went to the previews, so I got to see it on Thursday, the 23rd, instead of Friday when it technically came out on the 24th. Oh my God. First of all, the nostalgia was incredible because, you know, I was a teenager in the 80s. So that was when he was at his absolute peak, as far as I'm concerned. You know, he branched out as a solo artist. He had some of the hottest selling, best selling, record setting sales for a lot of his albums that are still the ones that are, the record is still there. Nobody has broken it. So, you know, to see it live was really something. I just, yes. Was I reliving my glory days? Probably, but that's okay. I had such a good time, and I would really invite you to go see it. In fact, if you're a doubter and you still are on some train thinking that he was some kind of, you know, abomination of behavior, first of all, you're wrong. And second of all, if that's how you feel, you need to go watch the movie. Like, you really do need to go watch the movie. His family has said it for years, and I didn't necessarily think this way, but now I do. They said that he was one of the most misunderstood person on the planet, and I think that maybe that's true. So you owe it to yourself to go check it out. Jafar Jackson, who was his nephew, who plays Michael, oh my God. He literally makes you forget you're not watching Michael. I mean, it's astounding. The only thing that I could say is that Michael's moves were sharper, but his were about as perfect as you can get. So I think you really should see it if you get a chance. Whether you see it with a doubter or you see it with a fan, see it, because you owe it to yourself to really see it. Was really phenomenal. If nothing else, go for the music. Oh, so nice. It's going to be in more than one part because the man was 50. So when he passed, you can't put all of that in a 2-hour movie. You just can't do it. But this stems like the first 30 years. So figure from Jackson 5 all the way through the Victory Tour and just him stepping off into his solo career. So yeah, so this is basically all of his young 20s, basically his 20s, till he's about 30 years old. So, you know, you get to see all of his animals. You get to see Havenhurst, which is the Jackson compound here in Southern California. So it's worth a watch. I'm just going to tell you that. So go see it. Really good. Really good. You might need to bring a tissue. There's a couple of hard parts. Excuse me, guys. And so, you know, you might want to just prepare, but I took a tissue, although I didn't need it, but there are a couple of hard parts. But there are things like, you know, I already knew his father was an ass. That didn't upset me because I already knew that. I felt bad for Michael having been brutally raised by that man. It's so bad. And you know, that's another thing. When you see that and the absolute depth of terror that man instilled in him, he couldn't abuse a child. He could not do it. There's no way. So there's that. And a lot of the interviews that he gave over the years are now circulating on social media. If you can find one from a reputable site, watch it again now with your 2026 eyes and see if it looks different to you. So yeah, so that's happening. Needless to say, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I'm sorry that the Jackson family is not all in agreement. So that's too bad, but seriously, yeah, definitely see it. So we will get on with the quiz. Again, no penalty for not getting it right, but let me know how many you got right in the comment section. Okay, so number 1, your quiz in Egyptian mythology. Which god pulled the sun across the sky during the day and fought Apep the serpent at night? There you go. That's the question. Took the sun across the sky, fought Apep the serpent at night. And after we're finished, we'll go back through and I will give you the answers. And then you can let me know which ones you got right. Number 2. Which goddess collected the parts of her husband from all over Egypt and brought him back to life to conceive their son? I'm looking for the name of the goddess. Okay. Number 3. Oops, too many pages. Hold on. Would be that the pages would stick together. Okay, number 3. Who is the lion-headed goddess who was tasked with protecting the pharaohs? Lion-headed is your clue there. Lion-headed goddess tasked with protecting the pharaohs. What is her name? Okay, number 4. Which god is represented with the Wadjet eye? Also known as the Eye of, and this god's name. Bonus points if you know who his parents are. Okay. Number 4. Oh, sorry, that was number 4. Number 5. Who is the jackal-headed god considered the creator of embalming? Jackal-headed god considered the creator of embalming. And he started with his father. Okay. All right. Number 6. Which goddess is cat-headed? Said to be the goddess of healing, fertility, and pregnant women. Okay. Number 7. Which god dismembered his brother and scattered him all over Egypt out of jealousy? You're 3/4 of the way through there, so you're almost there. How you doing so far? You finding it easy, hard, or you just aren't in the mood? Which is it? Okay. Number 8. Who is the god that, after being brought back to life, was to conceive his son, was tasked with keeping the underworld in order after he died the second time? Are you surprising yourself that you know most of these, or what? What is it? How you doing? Okay, that's 80%, because that's 8 questions already, so you're getting there quick. All right, number 9. Which goddess was unhappily married to Set, but adored her brother Osiris and her sister Isis? Yeah, had to think about that one, I'll bet, huh? A little bit. Okay, and number 10. Who is the god that is credited with creating education, intellect, and arithmetic? Are some of you saying, wait a minute, we didn't cover that? Yes, we did. We did cover it. Do you remember who it is? Okay, now here are the bonus questions. Okay, and then we're going to go back and we'll answer the other ones. Here are the bonus questions. There are technically 3 of them. So 3 of them it's kind of a longer question, but there are 3 total. Okay, so first one. Which animal adorns the head of Ra, the sun god? What is his head adorned like? Has he represented? Number 2. This one you had to have gone way, way back to the beginning, the very first whip and chat. Which god is considered the first god that all other gods came from? And it's okay if you need to think for a minute, because, you know, some of us need to do that nowadays. So that's fine if you need to think a little bit. Okay. Now, number 3. Here we go. All right. What TV show ran from 1975 to 1977, 2 seasons, starring Joanna Cameron as Andrea Thomas, science teacher, who found a magical amulet that allowed her to transform into a goddess? Her co-stars were Brian Cutler as Rick Mason and Joanna Pang as Cindy Lee. Now here are your hints. Number 1, it's a spin-off from Shazam. Some of you guys might remember the Saturday night lineup. Okay, this was a spin-off from Shazam. There were 22 total episodes produced by Filmation. Yeah, I've got to go way back now. Think about that. And I will tell you that it was called this name of this goddess, and then when it went into syndication, it was called The Secrets of this Goddess, which I found interesting. That's not typical. I mean, obviously they didn't do that with Star Trek or, you know, any of those others, but this one is 100% you know, got a different name when it was taken up in syndication. So, and remember, no cheating. I want you to tell me how many you got right. We're going to go over the answers here in just a minute. I'll give you another second or two just to find, you know, fill in any that you had to skip by, because I did rattle those off kind of quickly. So if you need an extra minute, that's okay. You can take it. I hope that you guys were able to glean enough from this event, Whip and Chats, that you were comfortable answering the questions and they went fairly easily. That was kind of the goal. If you struggled a little bit, I'm sorry. If you tuned out before we got to some of these answers, sorry again. I am hoping that, you know, you were able to hang in there long enough where these were not incredibly hard questions, although the one in the 70s is going to be tough if you, you know, weren't born until the 80s, but hang in there. We're going to go over answers in just a minute. So I could do the Jeopardy thing, I guess. Do 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 do. My little tribute to Alex Trebek. Okay. Alrighty, are you ready for answers? Let's do this. So, which god pulled the sun across the sky during the day and fought Apep the serpent at night? That would be Ra. Ra, the sun god. He had a very important job. He definitely did. Okay, which goddess collected the parts of her husband from all over Egypt and brought him back to conceive their son? That would be Isis. Okay. Who is the lion-headed goddess? What was tasked with protecting the pharaohs? That would be Sekhmet. S-E-K-H-M-E-T, Sekhmet. She's the lion-headed goddess. And then, which god is represented by the Wadjet eye? That was Horus. So it's also known as the Eye of Horus. So there you go. Bonus points if you know who his parents are. Okay. Who is the jackal-headed god considered the creator of embalming and started with his own father? Anubis. Yep. Anubis, the jackal-headed god, is the only god that I think we covered. Not the only god necessarily at all, but that we covered here in the event, that is black-skinned due to the color of the silt in the Nile River. Yep, that's why it's made that way. Okay. Which goddess is cat-headed and said to be the goddess of healing, fertility, and pregnant women? A lot of you probably knew this one. A lot of you did a canvas representing this one. This is Bastet. Yep, that was her, the cat-headed goddess. Okay. Which god dismembered his brother and scattered him all over Egypt out of jealousy? That would be Set. He was so jealous of Osiris he could hardly breathe and really took it out on him harshly. And that's very well acted out if you saw the movie Gods of Egypt. So yeah, you get front row seats to see that particular part of their history. So yep, if you haven't seen it, again, go see it. Worth it. On many a streaming service. Okay. Okay, now next question. Who is the god that, after being brought back to life, was tasked with keeping the underworld in order after his second death? Anybody remember? That would be our guy Osiris. Yep, he was a good guy, and his brother not so nice to him. And his son had to avenge him. It was a whole thing. And it wasn't instantaneous. It took a minute. So, and on the question of, you know, who is represented by the Wadjet eye, we also talked about what was in each of his eyes. The right eye, the left eye. So if you can remember what was in there, bonus points. Okay. Which goddess was unhappily married to Set, but adored her brother Osiris and her sister Isis? That would be Nephthys. 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 And she was very much a protector. Remember, she had those big, beautiful wings, and she would, you know, use them to protect whoever needed protection. So, bless her heart, right? Yes. So, and then who is the god that is credited with creating education, intellect, and arithmetic? That would be Thoth. Thoth. Okay, and those are all 10 questions of the quiz. Now for the bonus question. The animal that adorns the head of Ra, that would be a falcon. He is a falcon-headed god, which we talked about a couple different times. So yes. He is the falcon-headed one. Number 2, which god is considered the first god that all other gods came from? Amun. Remember when we talked about Amun way back? A-M-U-N. Remember when he melded with Ra and became Amun-Ra? I'm telling you. Yep, he was the first one. So that's who he was. Now the third question. What was a TV show that ran from 1975 to 1977, the 2 seasons, which starred with Joanna Cameron as Andrea Thomas, who was a science teacher that found the magical amulet that allowed her to transform into the goddess? Co-starring Brian Cutler as Rick Mason and Joanna Pang as Cindy Lee. It was a spin-off from Shazam. 22 episodes of Filmation production. That was Isis. Now in syndication, it's called The Secrets of Isis. And it was tasked with being the very first series that showed a woman in the lead role. You got to go way back now. This was before The Bionic Woman. This was before Wonder Woman. This was the first one that showed a female in the lead. And that was an intelligent female. She was a science teacher, and she used both the magical amulet she found and her intellect to solve mysteries, right? So, and she would spin and she would say, "Oh, mighty Isis." And then she would transform into her and do what needed to be done. I loved that show as a kid. I absolutely loved it. If you're interested, you can stream it for free on YouTube. YouTube does have the whole series, all 22 episodes. So if you, like me, just never got enough Isis in your life when you were a kid, you can fix that now by going to YouTube and loading that down and streaming it and watching all the episodes. I mean, it's a good watch. Even now, I think it held up in time, and I'm very disappointed that it's not talked about more because it had quite a following. I mean, all of my friends watched the same thing that I watched. It was part of the lineup. It was part of the hour that had Shazam. So they showed Shazam for 30 minutes, and then they showed Isis for 30 minutes, and then that was the hour, right? So that was how we got to watch it every Saturday. You know, along with other shows like Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. You guys remember that? You remember Lost World with the Sleestacks? Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. Yeah. Yep. Got to do all of that. Dr. Shrinker. Remember Dr. Shrinker? He's a madman with an evil mind. Dr. Shrinker. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, best thing that ever happened to parents was Saturday morning cartoons, because didn't matter if you got up at 6 a.m. or 10 a.m., there were cartoons on till at least 2 or 3. And then you could go outside and play with your friends and talk about the ones you'd seen. Or if you had a sleepover, you could, play outside and talk about it. Because we did that. We played outside. kind of weird to think that everybody's taking vitamin D now, because we couldn't have gotten more vitamin D. I mean, we were literally outside until you were called in. You know, usually the first kid that got called in, everybody went, oh, I guess it's time. And then we'd all go home. And that was just it, because, you know, our parents knew we were out with a group, first of all, because every kid in the neighborhood that was close in age all hung out together, because we all got shoved out of the house. So, yeah, like everybody had to be outside. So it's like you'd be standing there like, hi, you know, waving at the kid that lived next door. You might as well play together, because you were all outside staring at each other anyway. And, you know, it was an important time. It was a good time. It was the best of times, which we didn't figure out until we were a little older and we watched our kids get sucked into a TV by video game, you know. Now, we were outside, we were soaking up the fresh air and sunshine, we were scraping knees, we were spinning on the death traps that they called merry-go-rounds. Oh yeah. And you know, we wouldn't have changed it for the world. We really got to be kids, and in some ways we were the last generation that did. If any of you were participating in Scarlett's event, the 80s, which I also did at the same time I've been doing the Egypt one. Oh my God, she's had some fantastic videos. Oh, the nostalgia will just bite you right in the behind. Really great ones. So I mean, everything 80s she talked about, and so that was so much fun. So yeah, if you haven't gotten to actually be in the event, first of all, what are you doing with your life? Because you should be over there following Scarlett's Little Crafty Corner, because she's great. You know, watch the videos, because oh, it was fun. It was really right on the money too. So yeah, it was really something. So yep, that's what we did. But yeah, you had cartoons all day, and the parents finally got to sleep in. So, yep, and you could get your cereal out. Definitely something not good for you and sugary usually. Unless you had a parent where you were lucky if you got Raisin Bran. Not mine, man. My mother said, what kind do you want? Because she wanted me quiet for a while on Saturdays. I'm like, Fruity Pebbles, Mom, Fruity Pebbles. That was my favorite. Or Lucky Charms. I was okay with that too. So, because my brother was into Lucky Charms. I liked Captain Crunch, but she thought that was a little intense. So, I didn't have it very often, but once in a while. So, yeah. That's what we did. So, let me know in the comment section, how'd you do? How many did you get right? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the event. Did you enjoy it? Would you like to have seen something done differently? And if so, what? What would you have liked to see differently? And in what way? Because, you know, I'm interested in your feedback and what you really thought. And if there's something that I could do so that you would enjoy the event more, I want to know about it. If there's something that we did that you were not all that fond about, okay, you can let me know that too. Always interested in getting feedback from the Dragonites. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We are going to do our final 2 prizes. And one is going to be the other set of tray and pen and cover minder, courtesy of Min's over at True Vampire Art on Etsy, True Vampire Crafts here on YouTube. She made some beautiful, beautiful things. I hope that those of you who won last week, your items should have been delivered by yesterday, so I hope that you got them. Please let me know if you haven't when you get them. And the others are going to go out this week that we're going to draw today, so probably Tuesday. So I would anticipate that you'll probably have them by next weekend. And then I will do a wrap-up video, as I said, hopefully by next Friday, if all of you guys can get me your pictures by the 29th, which is Wednesday. Please mark it down so you don't forget. Because I would really like all of you to be in the whip parade for the final for the event because you did such beautiful work. I mean, it would be a shame for you not to be in it because really, they're all gorgeous. I have to tell you, I'm so happy with you guys. I'm so excited to see them. I think you're going to really like the Whip Parade. So we will do that. You know, and I have to tell you guys, I know I tell you this a lot, but it's really true. I had another creator on YouTube contact me and ask me if they could talk to me creator to creator. And I said, sure. And they wanted to know, they wanted advice, they wanted to know what to do. They had a subscriber that they felt was stalking them and cyber stalking them and making comments like they might try to find them and engage with them. And they wanted to know what I have done in that situation or what I would do in that situation. And we talked about it, and I gave a couple of suggestions that I had thought about, but I said, you know, I'm happy to tell them that I'm sorry I have never had that experience because the Dragonites are not like that. You know, this channel does not attract a lot of those kinds of people, and usually when they're in here, as soon as they start running their mouth, they get bounced out. So, you know, but I've only had to do that 3 times, and I'm up to over 1,650 people. Well, how do you manage that? Well, I don't really have to manage it. The Dragonites are just, you know, people of excellent character, people who try to make the world a better place than they found it, people who try to help each other. I mean, we've had Dragonites who have had some stress, right? We've had Dragonites that have been in hospitals for health situations. We've had Dragonites that have gone through hard times and have asked us, you know, to say healing thoughts to them, which we've done. You know, we do that here because those are the kind of people that we are. And I was so happy to be able to say that. So, yeah, clap yourselves on the back if you haven't already, because you really need to. You guys are the cream of the crop. That's just the way it is. And I'm so happy that those are the subbies that I have, because, yeah, there are some channels in here that is not what they have. So I'm really excited that I got to say it with 100% authority that I just, you know, those are not my subscribers. I can't even picture a Dragonite behaving like that. Like it's not a thing. Like I can't, you know, I can't imagine it. So, you know, I said I can tell you what I think I would do, and so I gave some suggestions of what I thought would be beneficial for this person to do. And I told her I was really sorry to know that those are some of the people that have come to her channel. So, you know, I told you, I brag on you guys all the time. And this is why. Because you're not these people. You're not the trolls. You're not the people who go out of their way to try to make everybody else's life miserable. You know, you come here, you're gracious, you leave nice comments, you know, if I ask you questions, you provide answers. You know, I mean, I don't know how I lucked into you guys, but whoo, I am so glad I did. So thank you again for being who you are. I am delighted. And at first, this person really didn't believe me. Are you serious? Come on, you had to have... No, I really haven't. I mean, I've had a couple of trolls I had to bounce, but they weren't subbies. They were people that passed by to act like an idiot, and then they left after I bounced them. So it wasn't even... I mean, they didn't even go out and try to be somebody else and bounce back in. They just left. And they stayed gone. And that was perfect. So, yeah. I mean, absolutely could not be happier with my subbies, for sure. So, new subscribers, welcome. And thank you for subbing in. You are among the Dragonites, so welcome aboard. You also possess the inner dragon that makes the world a better place, so welcome. Tried and true stubbies who always stick around, good, bad, or indifferent. I adore you guys. I'm so glad you're here. So, yeah. Okay, life updates. Okay, my roof is done, guys. Whew. Woo! And done correctly. Ah! Can you believe it? I know. Took them a lot. We actually had the inspector come to the door on Thursday and said, hey, I just wanted to let you know. And it was great because I had talked to her on the phone, but I had never met her. And so she said, she introduced herself. She said, I just wanted to let you know who I am. Here's my card if you need to follow up. She said, I want you to know that I did sign off on the inspection report today, but I literally had them rebuild your roof from the floor up 3 different times, which kind of surprised me, but okay. So she said, it is done. It is done to code. You will not have a leak for 20 years. And so, yeah, everything is the way it should have been done the first time. I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much, because the trials and tribulations. And I said, we had quite a bit of, ceiling damage. And she's like, yeah, I heard about that. And I thought, I bet you did. I bet everybody heard about it, because I'm fairly certain that the roofing company lost money on this job because of the way they went about it. So there's that. And, I told her that I was really thankful because we could never have gotten up on the roof. So, we would not have known that they were trying to pull a fast one and not do what needed to be done and just tried to cover it up instead of doing the job. So she goes, it's no problem. I mean, that's my job, is to protect the homeowner. So yeah, I was happy to do it. And she said, yep, you should be great. And I said, well, what happened with the wall? Because what happened, we found out what was causing mold to form on the ceiling of what used to be our office after it rained each time. We couldn't figure out what's going on, and they kept giving us all these wrong statements of what was happening. One said, oh, the gutters are full and it's backfilling. Another one said, oh, well, it's clearly leaking above it, and so once we fix it, it'll be fine. Yeah, none of that was true. But what the inspector found was our house has an addition, so what they did is they sort of extended it. They put in a wall and they extended it, which made a couple of the rooms larger and then gave room for a living room and an office. Okay, but what they did, and again, I'm sure it wasn't permitted because they've done things to this house that have been a disaster that obviously were not permitted, and I'll tell you that in a minute. And so what happened was they put the wall that they put in and then tried to run the eaves over it. That wall was too tall for the roof. And so what was happening is, instead of it being just a straight down peak so that the water would run directly onto the ground, it was coming down and just kind of pooling and then running down onto the subfloor. So, which would be kind of what an attic would be technically. And so that was causing water to pool. And she said, just to be clear, the roofs in California are not meant for water to stay there. They are made for water to get off of the roof as quickly as possible. And so, that was causing a problem. And that's why the top of your roof looked like it was rippled, because the water pooling up there caused the damage structurally, which then had to be replaced. And that's what they didn't do the first time, is they tried to just, oh, well, we'll just go over it and it'll be fine. And, no problem. Yeah, no, that was not going to be fine. And she said, I would never have signed off on that. So they had to actually fix it the right way. And I said, well, they certainly took enough money to be doing it the right way. She said, yes, they did. And so I said, well, how did you solve that problem? Because obviously the wall is still here because it's an addition to the house. And she explained that instead of coming, what they did, since they couldn't shorten the wall, they did have to clean it and even it out, which was nice because they were going to leave mold all across the top of that beam, which would have made our house a nightmare. Okay. They had to fix it. They had to clean it. And then they ran the eave of the roof up. So instead of it coming down and hitting here and not being able to go this way, they raised it so it cleared that wall. And now it runs the way it's supposed to. So there should never be mold again, or water or mildew or anything. So thank God, you guys. Really thank God. But yeah, what a nightmare. And then the guys came yesterday on a Saturday, no less. So somebody's getting time and a half out of it. They came out to fix the ceiling. The two guys that came out did a beautiful job because I was ready to get up in somebody's face. Like, if you think you're going to do a shitty patch job and then disappear, ooh, you got another thing coming, right? And that was my position. So I was ready for the fight. Well, as it turned out, didn't need to make one. They came out. They fixed the one where the guy, I don't know if it was heavy equipment or his foot, but the big dent that he made in the ceiling over Merlin's tank. They did a beautiful job patching. If I remember, I will put the pictures at the end of the video, the before and after. They did really a nice job, and they fixed the entire frame around the skylight. They recaulked it. They made sure the seal was in the right place. I mean, guys, like, I could not take any issue. I really felt like if the roofers had done their job as well as the ceiling people have done their job, I mean, we would not be in this situation. Would have been a whole lot less stress, and we would have been finished a long time ago. The only thing they couldn't finish was the kitchen above the ceiling, where the panels have just come off, you know, in pieces. They're just kind of laying on top of cupboards because they said that there's some wood kind of arbitrarily sticking out, and they didn't know if it was something the roofers intended, something the roofers didn't intend, or they intended to fix it and they didn't get to it. Or they didn't know, and they said, you know, if we seal it in there and it should have been fixed, then everybody's in the bad predicament. So I said, okay, so what's the plan? So he took a bunch of pictures and then did a video walking through to show to the roofing company, and they're supposed to get back to us, but the ceiling people are coming back again next Saturday and keep more extra cash, and they're going to finish the ceiling. And I said, well, what if they don't take care of it? He goes, well, I will let you know what they should have done, and I will be looking to have it done, and if it's not done, we're going to do it, and they're going to be in trouble. I said, okay, I'm for that. He goes, don't worry, we're not leaving until you are satisfied with the work. I said, thank you. I appreciate your integrity, because there was a lack of that with some of the roofing people. Sorry, you guys. So, it's been an interesting weekend. But I think it's going to end up okay eventually, but oh my God. Trying to get to that point? No. So, that's what's happening. I do feel that the ceiling people have done an amazing job so far. And if they do as well next Saturday with the ceiling panels above the kitchen, they're going to get a heck of a good review. The roofers, on the other hand, I don't know. I feel like, and the inspector thought too, that I should make a complaint about how they went about it. At the same time, I know they've lost money on the job because they didn't do it correctly, so they've had lesson learned. And they are paying, it's not costing me anything for the repairs that they're having to do because their people were bulls in a china shop when they should have been warned that, you know, manufactured houses, because they're two pieces brought together by the marriage beam at the top, you cannot treat them like brick and mortar houses. And clearly nobody clued them in. They should have known, or they shouldn't have been up there, but they didn't, and nobody told them. So they're paying a steep price for that. And so I don't know if I really need to. I mean, if somebody were to ask me, hey, did you like your roofers? I'd say no, but I have a name of a really good inspector and some really good ceiling people. But yeah, I would not recommend the roofers. So yeah, I'm a little torn whether I should actually make the complaint or not. I did let them know if they sealed mold into my house, there would be a hell of a complaint. So I think they were just as happy when the inspector said, yeah, no, that they were like, okay, well, we're just going to have to fix it. Yes, you are. That's why you asked for these ridiculous prices. The inspector did recommend that we get a mold guy in here just to make sure that there's nothing lingering, because she said if there's even a tiny itty bitty little bit, it will just continue to keep going. I thought, oh boy. So I guess that's going to be somewhere in the agenda. I don't know where, but somewhere. When I win the lottery, I'm going to get right on that. So that's a thing. But guys, oh my God, we had rain last night, and fairly hard rain. I could barely hear it because it wasn't like it used to be where it was really loud because it was raining right into, right inside the roof. I mean, it sounded like horses on the sea. I could barely hear it, and it was coming down pretty good. And I thought, oh, for the first time in 4 years, I was like, go ahead and rain. Water that lawn, water the flowers, water the trees, because by God, we're snug as a bug in a rug in here. So yes, couldn't be happier about that. So that's finally finished, you guys. And oh, can you hear the angels singing that it's finally done? So whew, that was 4 years of hell. I am going to have to try to figure out what to do about the plumbing. It's polybutylene plumbing, which is the kind that there have been many a lawsuit over. Needs to be replaced, but and the thing is, because we had a plumbing disaster occur where pipes broke underneath the house in 2022, we were out of here and had to live in a hotel for 3 months. 2/3 of it have actually been replaced, and they still want to charge $12,000 to $15,000 to do the final third. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm feeling like that's a little bit of a price gouging. Just want you to know. So we had originally we were going to refinance the house so that we could take the money out so we could fix the roof and the plumbing. But because interest rates went off the charts, our income no longer qualified when you added the interest. So that put an end to that. So we'll have to come up with some other way. Right now I don't know what that way is. So we'll just see how that pans out. But I'm so thankful that there are no rodents in my house. The roof does not leak. I mean, I feel like I can finally get some stuff done. I've been paying for a storage locker since my dad died 2 years ago. And I feel like for that $6,000 a year, I could be doing something else instead of paying storage. But my parents' player piano is in that storage, along with as many rolls as I could actually get out of his house when we had to do it. But I didn't want to bring it in here with a leaking roof. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I thought, what am I going to do? And then there were a few other furniture type items that I'm probably ultimately not going to be able to keep, that I might have to let go. But at the time I wanted to use them, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but I was going to try. So those are in the storage also. So now that the roof isn't leaking, and instead of having the ramp that is deteriorating that we had put in 10 years ago. The VA is putting in a lift because they gave Neil an electric scooter too. We're kind of hilarious, you guys. You would know us if you saw us somewhere, because the two of us tooling around in our electric scooters is a little bit comical. Anyway, people often yell at us, "Hey, you gonna race?" Gosh, we never heard that one before. But because they gave him the scooter, he had to have a way to be able to get it into the house, because the ramp is fine for walking or coming up and down with a wheelchair, but the top of it, you can't make the turn. There's not enough platform to turn into the house. And so they're going to give us a lift. Perfect. Because that lift is also going to help me get the piano into the house. It's already on a piano dolly, which my father already had. So I just had the people that helped me get the stuff out, my sons, my ex even, a couple of my dad's neighbors. I had them ratcheting strap it onto the furniture, the piano dolly, and keep it on there in storage, because that's not going to be its final house. So I said, just leave it on the piano dolly. So it's already strapped onto the dolly in storage. So eventually we're going to get the lift put in, and then we are going to put the piano on it, lift it into the house, and roll it straight in. And then I'll be able to listen to it and remember singing with my dad. You know, and all the years that we played, you know, the rolls that had Christmas carols and stuff on it, that we spent hours around singing. So yeah, that'll be good, because I have really missed having that player piano in here. And we had years of, they got that when I was 12. I was on my way to science camp that week, and they bought that piano with their tax return, and it was in the house, and my dad was singing to it when I got home from camp. And so, I hated being at science camp. I did not want to go at all, but it was part of our 5th grade science curriculum. So if you could go, you were supposed to go. So I had to go. I fought with my parents for a week over that. They made me go. Okay, fine. So I went. And so I came home, and I remember I heard music when I was coming up the sidewalk, and I thought, I wonder what that is. And so when I came in the door, and there was a piano where there was a chair that used to be there, because we had a sunken living room, and it was over against the railing that went up into the dining room. And so it was playing along, and I thought, well, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, because my dad always liked to sing, and we always sang, and he was a beautiful baritone voice, and I just loved it. My mother always said she married him for his voice. It wouldn't surprise me. And so he was singing along, and I thought, wow. And, he told me to come on over and sing, and so I did. So it was really so much fun. It was so many years. I mean, let's see. I was 12, and so it's been 46 years that piano never went more than a day or two without being played the whole time my dad was alive, right up to the end. And so not only to not have it be playing, but to have it be silent was a level of sacrilege I can't even tell you. And then to not be able to bring it home was even worse. But now I can. The first major problem, which was a leaky roof that I didn't dare put it under, and it's beautiful, it's pecan wood, it's gorgeous. Now I can have it there. And, it'll be so much fun to hear it, and, when my kids visit, to be able to play it, and for my grandkids. So, just have to get that lift put in. And that lift has been in process since January. I'm like, okay, we're at the end of April. Can somebody, you know, move this along? But anyway, so that's phenomenal news too. I'm finally going to get to bring the stuff in to my home that I intentionally got from my family of origin. So I'm really excited about that. I'll keep you guys posted. So yeah, that's going on. Kind of hoping that you know, we can get it before summer, because it gets really hot up here and I don't really want to move the piano when it's really extreme weather one way or another. When it's really rainy or really hot, I'd like to get it when it's a nice spring day so that we don't have to worry about warping. And I'm hoping to God it hasn't warped while it's been in there. That's stressing me out a little bit. But and I think once that happens, then I can make a final decision on some of the things. If any of you guys know how I should go about selling a crystal chandelier, I have two. I have a really big one that used to hang over my parents' dining room table. And then I have a smaller one that was in the entryway from their double doors would open. It was hanging in the entryway. I don't know if I should go ahead and have them appraised and then try to sell them, or if I should, you know, try to get an antique store to take it on consignment. Like, I just don't know what to do. I have not ever dealt with this before, so yeah, no idea. But I don't have a setup here where I can utilize them, so it makes no sense for me to keep them. But yeah, my parents brought those back from Oregon even. I mean, it was there wasn't a time that they didn't have them up as soon as they got them. So, and believe me when I tell you, there are a lot of crystals. I used to have to clean them with Windex and a glove every week, standing on a chair. So I did that for a long time. So when I tell you there's a lot of them, there's a lot of them. So let me know if you guys have a great idea on how to do that, or if anybody knows somebody who knows somebody. That would be awesome to know that, because I'm clueless, and what I have learned in my life is that if you're clueless, you're taken advantage of all the time. And so I don't want to go into it clueless, because I have issues about being taken advantage of. So if you guys know what I can do, let me know. All right, I have talked your ear off for more than an hour. So hugs to all of my Dragonites, because you guys, phenomenal human beings, and I'm so happy that you are subscribers. So have a wonderful week. Please make sure you get me your pictures in by the 29th, which is Wednesday, so I can work on the Whip Parade Thursday and get it posted hopefully by Friday, Saturday at the latest. Please, please don't make me find you. Please just do it. Excellent work you've all been doing. I've been seeing your progress. So impressed as usual. You know, and again, thank you for not being the kind of people on the internet that everybody runs from, because, really? So thanks for that. See the Michael Jackson movie if you get a chance. Let me know in the comments how you liked the quiz. How many did you get right? How many did you have no clue? Let me know. And I will be talking to you again later in the week. I'm waiting on one more canvas from some place that I have 2 of them out of 3. When I get the 3rd one, I'll do an unboxing for that. I'm going to be doing the finishes for March and April, because I didn't do one at the end of last month. So I'm going to tack those onto this month. And we will have a chance to, you know, talk with each other. So have a wonderful week, Dragonites. You know you guys are the best all around, always, all the time, in every capacity. And keep your inner dragon going, because this world needs you. It really badly needs you, now more than ever. Always be a dragon. Spread your wings. Protect those you love. Have fiery passion. Stay strong, slay your fears, and always fly high, rise up, and soar. All right, Dragonites. Great week ahead, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, Dragonites. Okay, here are the remaining names, minus our 2 winners. Whoops, minus our 2 winners from last week. So first we're going to spin for the cup, the greeting cards, and the notebook. And then the second drawing will be for the other pen, tray, and cover minder set. Okay? All right, guys, here we go. Good luck, everybody. Who's going to win all that cup and those awesome paper gifts? Let's see. Jedi Master. Congratulations, Jedi Master. Very cool. All right. That's one that's going to our friend, Miss Donna, over across the pond. She wins all those cool paper products. All right. And then we will hide her. Okay, this is for the tray and the pen combo. Here we go. Sugar Ray Crafts, congratulations, that's you. Congratulations, Ray. Okay. I will get those things in the mail this week, and thank you everybody for participating. Please don't forget to get me a copy or a picture of your finals by Wednesday the 29th, coming up this week, so I can get to that final whip parade for everybody which will follow the wrap-up video for the event, okay? If either of the people whose names were called are not interested in what they've won, I will do a separate video. I will spin again as part of the wrap-up video, and I will send whichever prize that is out to a different recipient. But in the meantime, assuming everybody wants it, congratulations again to the winners. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Dragonites.